This is StorySpin, where the cake is ruined, the trust is gone, and the group chat suspiciously quiet. Let's spin right into this train wreck. From the Am I the A-hole sub, would I be the a-hole for canceling my sister's wedding because it was my wedding first? I was meant to get married on the 1st of February, which was mine and my ex-fiance's anniversary. We ended the engagement shortly after New Year's because he cheated on me. The wedding was originally planned using my money and was meant to be very low-key, but my parents offered to contribute some money to make it a bit bigger. In the end, I paid for 60%, and my parents paid the other 40%. My ex and I had agreed that I'd cover the wedding while he paid for the honeymoon. When he cheated, he left me to handle all the cancellations, since none of it was his money. I was emotionally wrecked, so I turned to my mother and sister for help contacting vendors. Now here's the twist. My sister, who's engaged, was helping me with wedding planning. Suddenly, my mom and sister started asking if she could just take over my entire wedding. Same venue, same cake, same guest list, even the same wedding dress, unless she could find one off the rack in time. This was less than 3 weeks after I called off my wedding. I only found out about all this today. Apparently, she already told our family, gave out the new date, the same as mine, and her fiancé has told his family. She asked me if I was okay with it after everything was already arranged. I told her to go F herself. I have until the 23rd to cancel things and get partial refunds. Most of the contracts are in my name, which means I have full authority to cancel. She said she'd pay me back eventually, but knowing her, I doubt I'd ever see that money. Would I be the a-hole if I called around and canceled everything? Let's go into some of the comments. OP replied to a now-deleted comment. OP, she wants me to be her maid of honor, so I'd be standing up front in the dress that was meant for her, while she's wearing the dress that was meant for me. Commenter, I'm sick to my stomach just thinking about you having to watch your sister live out the wedding you planned. OP, my family isn't exactly the most emotionally intelligent, to be honest. Commenter, she's wearing your dress? OP, she says if she can't find one off the rack, she'll just borrow mine. The wedding is in 10 days, and we're the same size. Commenter, wait, they're even taking your date? OP, yep, the whole thing, including the anniversary date that my ex and I picked together. Commenter, does your sister hate you? OP, probably. Commenter, show your family this thread. OP, they just get mad at me for posting their business online. Another user, it's your business, your wedding, that's it. Commenter, not the a-hole. This is so messed up. OP, when I asked what the F they were thinking, my sister literally said, it's not like he died. Commenter, why not tell her straight up, pay in full or I cancel? OP, she'd try to talk me out of it. I don't care about the money as much as I care about not having to stand next to her while she wears my dress in my venue on my anniversary, just a few weeks after I got cheated on. Commenter, who has the dress now? OP, it was at my mom's house. I left it there to get ready on the wedding day. So yeah, my sister probably has it by now, and I hate myself for leaving it there. OP posted an update 2 days later. I talked to my sister. I told her how deeply hurt I was and how wrong this all felt. She said this would be therapeutic for me, seeing something good come from something bad. I said that's not what it feels like at all. It feels like I got cheated on, turned to her for help, and she decided to wear my dress, stand in my venue, on my anniversary, and act like it's no big deal. She then tried to negotiate a payment plan, offering to pay me back just 50% of my 60% share, in monthly installments over 10 months. So I made my decision. I canceled everything. The money is being refunded appropriately to me and my parents. Some vendors, like the baker, gave full refunds. Others, like the venue and caterer, kept part or all of the deposit. I got a little over half of my money back. Not ideal, but better than waiting a year on my sister's 5% per month payment plan. The date is now open. If my sister wants to rebook everything, she can do that under her own name. She helped me with the planning, so she already knows all the details. I'm no longer going on the honeymoon, but once the refunds clear, I might take a trip, somewhere new for myself. Not sure what's going to happen with my family now. Right now, I'm drafting a Facebook post to explain what happened without looking like a total witch. But honestly, I think most of the family already knows. Helping with the planning is one thing. Staging a full takeover, that's not sisterhood. That's identity theft. Let's get into the next story. She thought she was marrying a lawyer with a plan. Turns out, he couldn't even budget for the truth. Let's dive into, am I the a-hole for calling off the wedding after learning my fiancé lied about having the money? I'm a 33-year-old female, and I've been with my partner, a 32-year-old male, for 5 years. He proposed in March 2024, and we agreed to get married in December 2025. He promised to cover 70% of the wedding costs and said he'd transfer money to my account whenever I paid for something. I ended up handling all the planning and bookings. By April this year, I had already paid around $500,000 in local currency, but when I checked, he hadn't sent me a single cent. I kept reminding him, and he always said, "Yes, baby," after work. I work in an accounting firm with over 40 clients, so I'm insanely busy and didn't have time to double-check every day. But I trusted him. When we finally sat down to talk, I found out he didn't actually have the money. He planned to ask his parents or use future income, which means he had been lying about having savings all along. This is a man who constantly bragged about being financially stable. He's a lawyer. He told everyone he was successful, and now I realize it was all just talk. I understand people can go through hard financial times, but lying about it? Letting me carry the burden, emotionally and financially, while pretending he had it handled? That felt like a deep betrayal. So I called off the wedding and the relationship. Now he's throwing the wedding costs in my face, even though I did all the work. And my parents think I should just go through with it since we already announced the engagement to family. Am I the a-hole for calling it off? I feel heartbroken, used, and honestly fooled. And seriously, if you can't afford to get married, why propose in the first place? Here are a couple comments. Commenter: because you already announced it is one of the worst reasons to go through with a marriage. OP: I'd rather save my future than save face. LMAO: comment removed. OP: for real? If trust is broken before marriage, what more after? Not worth the risk. And honestly, it's non-negotiable for me. OP posted an update 8 days later. Hi everyone, thank you so much for the support. I didn't expect my post to get this much attention, but reading your responses made me feel less alone and helped me feel validated in everything I was feeling. It's been a week since I called everything off. He's been texting and calling nonstop, flip-flopping between apologizing and guilt-tripping me. At one point he said, "We can still fix this, it's just money." But it was never just about the money. It was the lying, the manipulation, the months of pretending to be someone he wasn't, and letting me drown financially and emotionally while he played the role of the dependable fiancé. Right now, I'm staying with a close friend while I sort everything out. I've cried more than I thought possible, but every day I feel a little lighter. The fog is lifting. His family finally reached out, trying to mediate. His mom even asked if we could just scale down the wedding instead of canceling it. I told her, calmly, that there is no wedding to scale down. I'm done. And I mean it. I've started reviewing everything I paid for, checking which vendors I can cancel or get partial refunds from. It's frustrating, but I'd rather lose money than lose myself in a marriage built on lies. My parents are slowly coming around. Last night, my dad said something that really stuck with me. It's better to disappoint people for a moment than to disappoint yourself for a lifetime. I don't know what's next, but I know what I walked away from, and I know I did the right thing. Thank you again. You helped me more than you know. 2 weddings, 0 husbands, and a whole lot of receipts. Some days, walking away isn't losing. It's refusing to pay the price for someone else's lies. Thanks for sticking around through the wreckage. Sub if you like watching people implode gracefully. There's always another train wreck just a click away.